Before colonization, before Western doctors, the Mandinka healed with the power of music, iron, ancestral spirits, and the sacred river Niger. Their medicine was deeper than just herbs, it was a science of the soul. Let me take you into the world of the Mandinka, descendants of the great Mali Empire, keepers of the griot tradition, children of the savanna, and masters of a healing system that blended nature, spirituality, and precision. The Mandinka lived in one of Africa's greatest civilizations. Their healing knowledge wasn't random, it was organized, documented, and passed down through lineages. The Mandinka healer, whether a marabout, a farafin, or an herbalist, knew hundreds of plants, the exact seasons to harvest them, the rituals that activated their power, and the spiritual rules that protected the patient. This was not primitive knowledge. This was the science of an old empire. Central to their world was the Niger River. The Mandinka believed the river carried purification, wisdom, ancestral energy, and fertility. People who were sick were brought to the river for cleansing, prayer, and water rituals to appease the spirits. Women seeking to have children performed special rites. At dawn, warriors purified themselves in its waters before battle. Healers would even collect sacred water under the cover of night. The river was a living, breathing healer. As Islam blended with Mandinka tradition, healing took on new dimensions. This is where the power of the marabout comes in. Healing often involved Quranic writings, protective amulets known as gris, and water infused with prayers or verses written on wooden tablets. People wore these amulets for health, luck, spiritual protection, courage, and safety during childbirth. The marabout treated spiritual attacks, nightmares, anxiety, and unexplained illnesses long before mental health was a common term. The Mandinka were treating both the mind and the soul. In Mandinka culture, music is medicine. The griot, or jelly, wasn't just a storyteller, they were a healer of the heart, through the enchanting music of the core. Through praise songs and the telling of ancestral stories, they healed grief, emotional distress, fear, and even family conflicts. Music was believed to realign a person's spirit, and storytelling stabilized their identity. The Mandinka understood something profound: when the spirit breaks, the body follows. Their herbal science was just as sophisticated, spanning from the savanna to the forest. Mandinka herbalists mastered plants that could treat everything from malaria and fever to infertility and wounds. They used key medicinal plants like neem, baobab, kola nut, moringa, and shea bark. Roots were boiled, leaves were steamed, barks were powdered, and oils were infused. This was pharmacology long before pharmacists existed. Even the blacksmith, known as the Numu, held a special role among the Mandinka. Some blacksmiths were also powerful healers. It was believed that ironworkers possessed immense spiritual energy, protection from spirits, and a mastery of fire. They used heated iron, forged charms, and fire purification rituals to treat fractures, snake bites, swelling, and chronic pain. The blacksmith's forge was both a workshop and a healing sanctuary. Women's healing and birth medicine formed a complete system to protect mother and child. Mandinka midwives used herbal steams, belly massages, postpartum cleansing drinks, and shea butter. Special groups of women, the Kanyaleng, sang healing songs during birth to protect fertility and the children. A Mandinka woman gave birth surrounded by music, ritual, protection, and deep herbal science. The Mandinka also used sacred powders, cowrie shells, and rituals with fire and water to protect against unseen forces like curses or envy. Their healing united the physical, emotional, and spiritual into one complete system. It included herbal knowledge, spiritual protection, music therapy, midwifery, psychological care, and bone setting. It kept communities healthy and whole long before colonial interference. This is Africa's science, not lost, just buried under silence. If you want more African healing stories, more hidden knowledge, and more forgotten cultures, make sure you subscribe. The next story of African wisdom is coming soon. Thanks for watching.